So there's the whole setup of thinking about how to deal with this market shift. How am I doing on time? Oh, shit. Really fast. Think about it as a market shift. This is my favorite slide. Up here on the left, we have an incandescent light bulb. Should you be investing in incandescent light bulb companies right now? Absolutely not. What should you be investing in? Well, that's an interesting question, because we have the compact fluorescents over there, but right behind them are LED lights. And now, in home settings, you can buy an LED light bulb for your house. They're too expensive. For the lumens that you get, the color rendering index, and the color temperature, new terminology that people are going to have to learn. Right now, we buy lights by how much energy they use. This is a 100-watt bulb. I buy it because it burns energy. You're going to have to start to learn other things. You know, the light quality isn't the same. The lumens aren't the same. And so they've been doing this weird sort of translating. This is equal to a 100-watt bulb. It's a terrible way to do it. The important point, though, is the technology to make an incandescent is the same as the technology to make a compact fluorescent. You take electricity run through a filament or a gas. It gets excited, it creates light. The technology to make LEDs is solid-state technology. It's a different industry. It's going to change the competitive dynamics there. And in industrial settings, it just does make sense. Ann Arbor right now is changing out of streetlights to LEDs with potential cost savings of millions of dollars per year, not only from energy costs, but because they last significantly longer, orders of magnitudes longer, they can downsize the maintenance costs. We have you can get your standard washer. This washer up on the left, well, there's your standard washer. Up on the right is a picture. There's a company developing a washer right now that uses no water whatsoever. It uses nylon beads to clean your clothes. You want to talk about a culture shift? Try and get people to get their heads around that. Is that in our future? We can get a standard thermostat for the house. You've all seen one of those on the left. Or on the right, we have the Eco Dashboard by General Electric. You can put that in your house, and you can track in real time what your energy and water use is. And right now, we standardly think of my energy bill as like death and taxes. I get at the end of the month, I can't connect behavior to that bill. This allows you to. So you'll go home, and your father or mother will put one of these in the house, and you're going to go take a shower on Saturday morning, a normal 1 or 2 hour shower, and you're going to come downstairs, and you're going to say, you see that spike? That was your shower. That's how much your shower just cost me. If you can lower that spike, I'll take you to dinner. If you can, and people start to connect behavior to outcomes. People go on vacation. They'll shut everything down. They'll say, wait a minute, my house is still drawing power. And they'll learn about phantom loads. And they'll learn, for example, that big monster plasma TV they have in the house, that uses more energy turned off than a regular TV uses turned on, because you have to keep the plasma warm, so you have the instant on. People are going to start to say, wait a minute, I didn't buy into that. And so when they're talking to their friends and they think about getting a plasma TV, they say, be careful, because that uses a lot of energy, and they may start to shift over to LED TVs, or downsize, or start to look at energy efficiency in appliances. Culture change. We have your standard SUV over here on the left. We have a Prius, or we have a Tesla. And I think this is really exciting, the idea that we have now new entrants in the auto sector. And this is really exciting. That really changed the competitive dynamics. And then, you know, someone who's always really good for bending your brain is Amory Lovins. He likes to ask the question, what is the car of the future? Is it a car with computers, or is it a computer on wheels? This is a really important question, because if it's a car with computers, the standard incumbents can make it. But if it's a computer on wheels, we can have a whole different class of automakers. Siemens, Motorola, Northrop Grumman, who knows? What do the big three bring? Well, they manufacturing capability. Everyone knows that you can now, you know, if it's a computer on wheels, other people can make it with similar skills. Dealer networks, we've just realized, well, they have a heck of a lot more dealers than they need. And is it possible that we can start buying cars over the web? We do that with computers now. When computers first came out, people thought, no way, we're going to buy a computer over the web, but now we do. I go to the Dell page, I buy a computer, could you do that? Service stations, well, to fix an electric car is a totally different set of skills to fix an internal combustion engine, so they're going to have to retrain their workforce anyway. So, what do the car companies bring? It's debatable. We have a faucet over here on the left. We have a faucet on the right where you stick your hand underneath and the water comes out. We all have these. The biggest cost of doing this in a new building is running wires. It actually can make it cost prohibitive. And then an inventor came along and said, wait a minute, we have a source of power there already. It's called water pressure. And his device hooks up in the water line. Every time you turn it on, it spins a power generator. It powers up the batteries. It keeps working. You don't have to run wires at all. first step in having a new idea. Stop having an old idea. There's a different source of power there. Opportunity. And that leads me to my final example. We have a power plant over here on the left. We can start to think about wind and solar. On the right is a schematic for a train station in Japan. It's actually a functioning train station taking advantage of an energy source that everyone overlooks every day. It's the footsteps of the people that pass through. Now, the cost of energy is high, but it's thinking in a different way. And there are sensors on the floor that pick up the impact of the footsteps as they go through, and they're creating electricity from the people that pass through the station. That's the kind of opportunity space that you want to start to think about. How can I think differently? Is there an opportunity out there? Can I take advantage of it? I'm told there's a dance club in Sweden that's using the same technology to take advantage of the power of dancing. So, these are the kind of opportunities that are out there. These are the way I want you to think about it. And they're out there right now. This is a study done by McKinsey. Am I totally blowing the schedule? No. Here's a study by McKinsey. And it's gotten a lot of attention. It's called the cost abatement curve, and a lot of people mimic it in other ways. Basically, everything below the line makes money right now. Everything above the line does not. And there's a couple of things up there that are provocative. You'll see that the only biofuel is sugarcane biofuel. I'll be interested in your opinions on this. The only one that makes money right now is sugarcane biofuel, but you have a lot of biofuels up on top that aren't making money. I think this is different when you take it from restaurants. I don't think that's up there. But you know, biofuels from corn, bad investment. Really bad investment. Look at the rest of them down there. They're all in the building sector. They're building insulation. You've got lighting systems, air conditioning, water heating. Right now, I've got a water heater at home that's making hot water for no one that's there. You can get a tankless hot water heater that does it on demand. Much more efficient. They do work. People are afraid of them. They've never seen them before. They do work. Standby losses. The building sector is ripe for opportunities. The way we build buildings right now is the same way we built them 50 years ago. And the whole market is really exciting. If you look at the Green Build Conference, it used to be Green Building Conferences were a bunch of guys in tie-dye shirts trying to sell you a rammed-earth home. Go to Green Build now. Upwards of 25,000, 30,000 people go. Walk through the vendor display. It's a who's who of the construction industry. If you're not in the green building sector, you're not in buildings. It's that simple. It's an exciting place to be. So these opportunities are out there. It troubles economists. There's a joke of the economist walking down the street with his son. Have you heard this one? And the economist says, or the son says, look, Dad, there's a $20 bill on the ground. And the economist says, it couldn't be, son, because someone would have picked it up by now. Well, this is $20 bills sitting on the floor, and no one's picking them up because there are institutional obstacles to getting there. There's a lot of leadership obstacles to getting there. Okay, black t-shirts, how many times? That's right, you couldn't see it? The screen's too small? 7, okay. White t-shirts, how many times? Okay. How many saw the woman with the umbrella walking through the screen? Okay. This isn't a trick. This is the same video. You bounce the basketball back and forth. And here she comes. Walking right through the middle of the screen, the woman with the umbrella. Okay? It would work if this was big or small. This was done by a psychology professor. Really focus on the idea that we focus our attention on certain things and we can be distracted or miss things around us. We have these blinders on. And so in this area of sustainability in business, there's a lot of blinders that people have on the issue. Business leaders throughout history have been known for missing glaring signals in the market that are right before them. This isn't a new thing. Some of the examples include this one right here from Western Union in 1876. This telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. This device has apparently no value to us. Why didn't they see it? Because they were looking for something else. This was a threat to the telegraph. Therefore, they didn't recognize its importance. We have this one from the CEO of Warner Brothers. Who the hell wants to hear actors talk? The first year the talkie came out, the jazz singer, why didn't he see it? He didn't want to negotiate with actors.